Oh, please tell. Oh my. Okay, who did I miss? I missed the Aleki. Oh, Groudon, you are trash. YouTube, today we're going to be using a brand new team that got top 8 at the Hong Kong National Championship featuring Zamazenta and Groudon. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, it really does help me out. And we'll check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, and you can grab the rental code while it is available. We've seen these 6 on ladder quite frequently, especially in the high ladder, because there's a player known as Wiltank. We actually have used the 6 quite a bit, but this team has some different sets compared to the usual version. So I'm pretty interested to see how the sets will affect our games today, but let's get started and play some games. Calyx Shadow Rider, Kyogre, Weezing, Regigigas with the Regieleki and Whimsicott. Okay, so this team, it does have quite a few threats, especially the Calyx Shadow Rider and the Kyogre. The Regigigas Weezing isn't too bad, yet it can be a little bit tricky because obviously our matchup's not exactly super amazing against that with what we have here. But it's a playable one right here. Let me see. What do I want to go? Because I really do like Zamazenta here. Zamazenta, of course, really good with that wide guard potential. It is fantastic right here. The Venusaur, I might want to go. I just don't know who I'm maxing. I do want Groudon here for sure. I definitely want to bring Groudon, huh? I'm kind of down to go with like Thundurus plus Zamazenta right here, or Groudon potentially. I do kind of just like Groudon. It just dishes out so much damage. I think I am just going to go with Groudon lead. Maybe Groudon, Zamazenta, just lead both my restricteds here. And then in the back, I'm thinking like maybe Thundurus. I could see myself getting a Thundurus into a really solid position here. And then last Pokemon, I think it's Incineroar, because even though I like Venusaur, the thing is, I just don't see it really doing much here. I'm thinking of like, okay, what can I do here? And it really just depends. I don't know if they're targeting down the Zamazenta immediately or if they're going to be targeting down the Groudon, because both are kind of big threats. If I get the coaching up, it's going to be really hard for my opponent to actually deal damage. But let's find out how this is going to work here. We're going to see the Weezing Regigigas mode. Okay. Weezing Regigigas. I do have the White Herb on the Groudon, which is actually pretty big here, because if they do go for a max strike, I do ignore a speed drop right here, which means that the Weezing's bulky, I might still be able to outspeed it before I can get a Will-O-Wisp off. The question is, do I want to go for coaching immediately? I kind of do. I could go for protect coaching, but I'm not exactly 100% sure. Do I want to let Zamazenta potentially go down here? I don't know. That's the big question. I really do want to get a Precipice Blades off for sure. And then the question is, do I want to go for a coaching, or do I want to go for like maybe a double up into the Weezing, for instance? I just don't know if they're clicking strike here or if they're going for the Quake, because I don't think Quake can knock out Zamazenta in one shot just because of how bulky Zamazenta is, but I'm not at +1 because of the Weezing neutralizing gas. I was thinking of maybe going to Thundurus here, but you know what? I'm going to go for the coaching and the Groudon immediately. I feel like they should respect the Groudon here, and I feel like max strike into Groudon's a potential play because they got to worry about coaching, and then they could go for like maybe a Quake the next turn. They might be trying to go for a Wisp potential option as well. They could go for a Taunt into my Zamazenta, which can help slow it down. We'll find out. They do Dynamax immediately. It is going to be the Regigigas coming out right here. And this thing hurts like a truck right here. Should be the Life Orb set, unless they change the team to where it's like Life Orb on the Aleki. This was a pretty common team back a couple of months ago, but let's find out. We do get the coaching up with the Zamazenta into the Groudon. So the Groudon's now +1 defense and +1 attack, which is really nice. We're going to see a max strike come out. Perfect, perfect. This is the best case scenario here. They target my Zamazenta. I think they were trying to predict a switch right there. I was thinking maybe trying to bait with the Thundurus, but I felt like it wasn't necessary here. But that works out amazing for me because they do take that Life Orb chip. I do have the White Herb. And let's see, is the Weezing max speed? It is max speed Weezing. Does go for the Wills into the Groudon. Okay, very fair play here. But at least I still get a pretty big Precipice Blades off into both slots, and I do nice. It's not Sugarberry Weezing, so that is some pretty good damage. I might be able to KO the Weezing with the next attack right here, but I'm not 100% certain here. I'm going to go for Precipice Blades be fired off once again, and I don't have Protect. They should be Quaking here. I don't think they max strike here. There's just no reason to. And I think I swap out here into my Thundurus right now. If Thunders goes down, it's not too bad because I feel like having wide guard is so crucial in this matchup where there's a Kyogre with very powerful spreads in the back alongside the Calyx Shadow Rider with the Astral Barrage. My best play, I think, and my best course of action, even if I give up my Thunders, it's not even that big of a deal. I could always Dynamax Groudon if I have to and Quake up my Zamazenta. Make it really hard for them to actually deal with the Zamazenta. It seems like a really good strategy here. But we'll find out. We're going to stall out our max. The Weezing is probably just going to protect here because I don't think Bash knocks out the Weezing, but just to be sure, I feel like they wouldn't want to take that risk. So I'm going hard into Thunders here. I'm probably protecting Quake here. We are going to see, yep, the protect here. No surprise. I want to say this is Quake, but it is a strike again. This should be interesting. No, they go for a Hailstorm. Ooh, into Groudon? Okay, into Groudon. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty fair. A lot of damage into Groudon, but really not that bad of a position here because I'm still getting some pretty decent chip damage into the Regigigas slot here with that Precipice Blades, and this should put in range of Zamazenta. Zamazenta is still really strong. Incineroar is a little bit questionable if Incineroar can 1v4, but we'll find out. I could Dynamax my Thundurus here, and Dynamaxing the Thundurus isn't too bad because I could just Airstream the Weezing now, and actually I really do like that. If I can Airstream the Weezing, I can get a pretty nice Precipice Blades off into the Gigas, and yeah, that seems really solid here. So I'm going to go for Precipice Blades here. I could Electroweb in Precipice Blades, but if I miss the Weezing, it's not really ideal here. I might as well just take the Dynamax now, especially since I don't think I'm Dynamaxing the Incineroar. I might as well. So I'm going to go for the Airstream. I'm going to target down the... Should I target down the Giga slot? The problem... Actually, I can. Yeah, because my Groudon is at neutral speed, so I outspeed the Weezing. I'm just worried if the Weezing gets a double protect, I don't KO through the double protect, and then I lose a Pokemon for no reason here. So you know what? I think it's just better to go for the Airstream into the Giga slot. If they max guard the Giga, really good play on their part, but I'm assuming this is more likely a double protect from the Weezing, or they go for the last ditch Wisp here. And granted, all I have to do is hit the Blades into the Weezing, but that's a 15% chance, but a double protect is like a 33% chance, so I feel like my odds are higher by turning down the Giga slot right here. I don't really care if Thundurus gets burned too, so let's see how this is gonna go. We're gonna see a no double protect attempt. Okay, so an Airstream does come out into the Giga slot, and okay, if we just hit one of our two Blades, we should be fine here. Just double miss is terrible, but as long as we hit one of them, we're fine. Get that big Airstream up, and a lot of damage. Here comes the Precipice Blades. We connect both. Nice, nice, nice. So we get rid of the Regigigas, we get rid of the Weezing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Eliminated the Weezing and the Regigigas mode. Their Dynamax is over. Sun is up. Kyogre is probably going to override that, but that is perfectly fine right here. Feeling very, very confident about this end game right here, especially if it is going to be the Choice Scarf Kyogre and the Choice Specs Calyx in the back. Although maybe they decide not to bring both of them. We'll find out. Dealing with the Kyogre is still a very suspicious thing if it's not both restrictions in the back, but should be. Yeah, Calyx comes out here. Kyogre does reveal itself here. Okay, so this should mean a Max Lightning is pretty safe here into the Kyogre slot. As one, we cannot find out abilities here, unfortunately, but yeah, we go for a Max Lightning into Kyogre. I don't believe, even if Calyx's Choice Spec should be able to knock out my Thundurus anyway, since I'm like almost near full. I've only taken a little bit of chips, so let's go for that Precipice Blades. Let's go for that Max Lightning off the... This is off Wall Charge, right? Yeah, this should be off Wall Charge. Okay. And that should seal the game because then Zamazenta can come in. We click Wide Guard. We also have our... we have our Incineroar in the back as well to beat the Calyx. So Max Lightning does come out into the Kyogre, does eliminate the Kyogre, and this should seal it right here as goodbye Kyogre. And whew, all right, a little bit tricky to maneuver against Weezing Regigigas, especially with a Sun team that relies a lot on its abilities, but this is where Zamazenta can really show some work here because the coaching helped the Groudon live that Hailstorm from the Regigigas, especially with the burn turns, which was actually pretty important because it allowed me to get some pretty significant damage off. Now we can go out into our Zamazenta here and we click a Wide Guard and an Airstream into the Calyx, and then we should be fine because we always just outspeed the Calyx afterward. With both our Pokemon, the Calyx can't knock out both of our Pokemon because of Wide Guard, so even if they aren't like choice locked in any way, this should seal it up. Even if they have Trick Room, it shouldn't matter because we have an Incineroar in the back. So yeah, we're gonna go for an Airstream into a Wide Guard in case the Calyx... I mean, I'm pretty sure we already confirmed it wasn't Scarf earlier, but yeah, a Wide Guard going to come out from Zamazenta here. Let's see. Max Airstream will come fire off into the Calyx, and it almost picks up the knockout, but not enough. But yeah, Calyx should not be able to win this game now, especially with the Airstream boost, and they cannot do anything because Zamazenta is blocking. And Zamazenta is, of course, one of the probably the best restricted pairs to go against, is because a lot of their moves rely on the spreads. So Kyogre is usually choiced on this team with Water Spout and Origin Pulse, and I guess most Kyogres are anyway, so being able to wide guard just the Kyogre's attacks, especially since they tend not to Dynamax the Kyogre, fantastic right here. I might as well just wide guard again. Yeah, I think I should wide guard again, and I wild charge in case the Calyx is some random quick claw. But yeah, we are able to seal up the win right here. Ooh, okay, really nice, really nice. Just being able to slow down or just be able to take care of their wheezing pretty fast, which is nice. It is the choice specs on the Calyx. The choice scarf was on the Kyogre, so yeah, they didn't really have much of an out there. Focus sash on the wheezing with max speed. Okay, so it wasn't focus sash on the Whimsicott actually, because I remember Shucker Berry on the wheezing sometimes here. It is the mental herb on the Whimsicott though, which is not too surprising, and the safety goggles Eliki, which was on the original team. But yeah, overall, just being able to like really handle against the Regigigas. I think that turn one was fantastic because we were able to boost up our Groudon, do some pretty significant damage to that wheezing through the burn, and then afterward we still had Zamazenta preserved, and Thunders was in a really good spot where it just Airstream, picked up a double knockout if I had Blades, and then I was already set up for the back Pokemon at that point, so really nice. Charizard, Groudon, Zacian, Gastrodon, Thundurus, and Incineroar. Okay, so basically Rinyasun, but no Grimmsnarl, which makes this matchup pretty unique here because I'm not 100% sure on like what the right play is here. I do really like the coaching idea, like being able to coach with like the Thundurus plus the Zamazenta is actually like such a big threat to them. They really don't have the best answers to this, but of course it's not exactly super easy, I would say, to handle. I do kind of want to go with the Zamazenta plus the Thundurus right here, and then in the back, I definitely want Zamazenta here. I want Thundurus. The question is, do I want Incineroar? Because Incineroar is good against the Zacian and of course slowing down their Groudon, but otherwise it's a little bit tricky otherwise. I definitely want my Groudon in for sure. The last Pokemon, it's kind of strange because I want Venusaur for Sleep Powder actually, or not Sleep Powder, but I want it for the Gastrodon, which I don't think Gastrodon's coming, but maybe it does. But I also like it for their Groudon specifically. Like dealing with their Groudon's actually a little bit annoying damage wise, because the only thing I have is coaching, which isn't like super reliable when all my things like just don't exactly like taking a Blades. But yeah, I do want to go with Venusaur, I think. Let's see how this goes. I don't know if this is the right call here. Incineroar might have just been better, especially against their Zacian right here. Because I guess one of the things that's really weak about my lead is a Zacian lead with their Thundurus. But let's just find out what they decide to go with immediately right here, because I do really like the idea of just coaching stuff. We're going to see the Charizard plus the Zacian lead immediately, actually. Okay. So, pretty interesting situation right here. I'm leading with the Zamazenta plus the Thundurus, and their Charizard's kind of in a weird spot, right? Because Max Lightning, of course, is really threatening. We confirmed that their Zacian's faster than my Zamazenta, which isn't too surprising here. I don't know about this position here. So Wildfire is going to do a lot of damage. I could go for a coaching plus a Max Lightning here. The problem is they could just protect the Charizard, or they could switch out right here. I don't know which one they could do. They could also attack, but I feel like attacking, like losing the Charizard, isn't really that valuable right here. So I kind of want to go for the coaching protect play right here. I could be losing a lot of momentum this turn one, and especially if they max their Charizard. But this could be max guard, which I think is very fair here. Let's find out if it is, because if I could have just went for a max lightning turn one and been in an okay position, I would have really loved it, but I have no clue right here. We're going to see the Dynamax from Charizard right here. I don't think I had really the best mid ground other than like maybe a Venusaur lead, a Venusaur and Sleep Powder. But of course, if the Charizard's like a Lumberry, if they switch the items, that could be a little bit tricky. So we do protect. It looks like they attacked here, so that's very unfortunate for me. All right, so we do protect our Thundurus. We do get the coaching up with our with our Thunderous. Okay, this could of course be the, let's see, Wildfire. Okay, the Wildfire is going to come out into my Zamazenta. My Zamazenta does take it, actually. That's definitely not Life Orb Charizard. Do I go down to the next one, or do I still survive? Because if I survive... Ooh, big survival, actually. Very nice survival. Okay. Because I still have a Thunderous that's still actually, like, putting on a lot of pressure. I kind of like this position. Like, I mean, it's not exactly amazing, but I'm going to go for an Airstream and a Charizard. And I think I'm going to go for a coaching attempt into the Thunderous once again. They try to switch, because the only way that Charizard knocks me out in this position is by switching to ground and clicking Wildfire. I don't know if they're clicking Blade here. If they do, I get a nice Airstream up plus a coaching with a +2 Life Orb Thunderous. I definitely OHKO the Charizard with an Airstream. If they max guard here, I guess this is awkward, but we'll find out if they do actually decide to do it this turn instead of the last turn. Nice. Okay, so I think they bladed my Thunderous. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Really nice, because I do have that +1 defense, so I'll be taking this attack a lot better. I also get another coaching up plus an Airstream. This is fantastic, actually. Yeah, this is really fantastic, because now I have a +2 Thunderous, which is really threatening with that Life Orb. They don't have a single way of slowing this down, so I really like this. I am able to get an Airstream up into their Charizard, and it does just blow back the Charizard. Beautiful. Okay, this could have gone really bad the first turn, and it kind of did go bad the first turn. Second turn could have also been worse if they targeted down my Zamazenta, but I had a feeling they would probably target down my Thunderous and start going for the Blade here, especially if I went for the Lightning and a Charizard, because they could two-shot my Thunderous and outspeed if I don't go for the Airstream. But yeah, Zamazenta does faint here, but it's done its job. Basically, the Wildfire is adding up, which is a little bit tricky, but overall we should be okay. I think Thunderous can just one-shot the Zacian. Yeah, I think it can. We bring out our Groudon here as they bring out their Groudon, which makes sense. Okay. I would like to go for probably just an Airstream into their Groudon slot. Yeah, I would like to Airstream the Groudon, especially if it's not Assault Vest. Yeah, I like the idea of just going for the Airstream here into the Groudon and going for the Blades here, because I would be able to knock out their Groudon, which is fantastic right here. And if they protect, so be it. I get Airstream damage, I get Precipice Blades damage off in the Zacian, and then Venusaur comes in under the sun and outspeeds everything on their team, so not that bad. They do reveal Protect on the Groudon. Okay, a little bit unfortunate for me, but a +1 Groudon is still a very threatening Groudon right here. And this Airstream is still going to hurt through Protect. Yeah, still does some pretty solid damage here. Okay. Just a Wildfire is going to add up, which is going to be a little bit tricky here. But otherwise, we're not in a terrible spot, although it would be more ideal, of course, if we were turning down the Zacian in the previous turn. But yeah, we're going to see a Blade be fired off into the Thunderous for the knockout here. They got to get rid of Thunderous. Thunderous just, you have to respect it right here. So they have changed the Groudon on these kind of teams, okay? Because normally they were Assault Vest. That's why I really want to Airstream the Groudon right there. So let's see if we can land the Blades, because this is going to be a really important factor if we can hit the Blades or not, okay? Oh. Groudon. Not great. All right. Venusaur here. That's a really bad miss. That's such a bad timing for a miss, man. I needed the damage. All right. I'm going to hope they respect the Venusaur. This is really bad. I think I just Protect, and I think I Blades. They could switch to Incineroar. They could attack here. They're going to switch out to Zacian and Incineroar, looks like. Okay. Which is actually kind of fine for me, because I do have the White Herb. The White Herb is actually going to come in really clutch here, because I do get a big Blades off. I waste a Shucker Berry on the Incineroar, and if I two-shot the Groudon, maybe. But if it's not the Assault Vest Groudon, I imagine it's Citrus then. But that is such a big shame. We do protect our Venusaur. Maybe we'll need a double protect the following turn. We do go for the Blades here, because if I went for maybe a Leaf Storm in the Groudon, that would have been nice. But then again, the Groudon probably doesn't have a Fire move now, I think. Oh, it does have Fire move. It has Fire Punch. Interesting. Okay, wait, hold on. That changes the dynamic of this game quite a bit here. So it's probably 3 attacks Groudon then? No Sword Stance. I imagine it's White Herb then. Oh, that's pretty big, because if it is White Herb on the Groudon, I can go for a Leaf Storm in the Groudon. And I can go for Precipice Blades here. No matter who they fake out, I have an Airstream with the Groudon, so I outspeed and OHKO their Groudon. I just gotta hit moves. That's all I have to do. Just hit my moves. Oh, that's not something there's a reason why I don't use this core. I know how strong Groudon V2 is, especially as the lead, but God dang, I'm not exactly the most confident. Okay, okay, wait, that's really good here. That's really good because I get a Leaf Storm off into the Groudon. I might have to Sleep Powder though. That's the unfortunate part because I missed the Groudon early or the Zacian earlier. I can't Earth Power clean up for the clean end game, so I have to go for Sleep Powder. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go for Sleep Powder, and then I also have to hit Blades on top of that, at least onto the Zacian. All right. Oh, this. Why does this have to come down to a Sleep Powder, man? Why, Groudon? Why couldn't you just hit your Blade so it didn't come down to this situation? We're clicking Sleep Powder here. We're clicking our Blades here. I could Protect, but there's no point of it, right? Because Incineroar should Flare Blitz always my... Yeah, they should always Flare Blitz to Venu and Behemoth Blade to Dawn here. So, Sleep Powder. We do land. We have to hit our Blades, though. So, that's one. That's one Sleep Powder hit. Just hit the Blades. Zacian, so Sleep. Blades. It's not over until it's over. Goodbye, Venusaur. Okay. Fire Punch, no shot, knocks out the Zacian. Oh, I'm gonna need a 2-turn sleep here. Oh, Groudon, why? Oh, Groudon, why? Why do you do this to me, man? Single target Blades at least Oko's the Zacian now, so all I have to do is literally hit. Well, do we survive? I don't think we do. Well, it depends on their Zacian spread, I guess. Groudon? Can we? Yeah. Okay, okay. Man, I didn't even have to hit the Sleep Powder. Here's the funny part. I did not have to hit the Sleep Powder at all in order to win this game. I mean, after I missed, it was like if I hit my Blades with my Groudon, the main attacking point of this team, I win. Like if I hit the Blades on Incineroar, if I hit the Blade on Incineroar, I still came down to Sleep turns because then the Zacian wakes up and then it's still the same situation basically. It's just that I still have my Venusaur, but I have a -2 Venusaur, which isn't doing much damage. And then obviously I didn't hit the Blades into their Zacian, so I can't even Earth Power the Zacian for the follow-up. But yeah. Really, game, really. Don't use Groudon. There's a reason why I hate this mon so much. Calyx, Ice Rider, Kyogre, Charizard, Incineroar, Regieleki, Rillaboom. Why does this not look like a fun matchup at all? Oh boy. There's a lot of complications here, and I mean a lot of complications. All right. Thundurus could be good, but I'm not a big fan of it. I actually kind of want to lead. Oh man, my Venusaur matchup, and it's just a combination of Charizard plus Eleki. Because Charizard plus Eleki is very, very, very threatening to my team, and I don't exactly have the best answers to it combination wise. Let me check what I can do here. Zamazenta might be brought. I'm not sure. No Foul Play also kind of stinks here, but Light Screen's really good against their team for the most part, so do kind of want to consider it. I think I am going to go with the Grimmsnarl lead. I think Grimmsnarl plus... Oh man, just having no switch in. I want to say it's Grimmsnarl and Incineroar lead. I don't mind Grimmsnarl and Incineroar. I don't think they lead Kyogre, but it's definitely possible. But I do think that is probably the answer. I like the Zamazenta and the Groudon. I like Zamazenta because I don't auto lose to the Calyx Ice Rider. We'll see how this goes though. My plan is to trick the Charizard, give it the Iron Ball so I can go for the Quake with my Groudon and knock out their Charizard by outspeeding it, which is going to be a pretty big factor. A Light Screen up is actually really good against their team. That is currently the game plan. I don't know if it's going to work here. We're going to see the lead of the Regieleki Calyx Ice Rider. Okay. That's still really scary here as we do lead our Incineroar plus our... Okay, Incineroar plus Grimmsnarl lead. I really would like a parting shot off into probably the Calyx Ice Rider. No, I definitely want into the Eleki, I think. It really depends. I think it's the Calyx. I definitely want a Light Screen up. That's 100%. So I am going to go for the Light Screen here. And then I think I parting shot out the Calyx. Yeah. Because Calyx is probably a big threat here. They're going to Dynamax immediately. So this should be the Eleki. If they Dynamax the Eleki, Groudon can come in. And then I'm kind of like in an okay position for the most part. So I don't think it's too bad here. They do Dynamax the Eleki. Okay. So I could have parting shot here. Is this helping hand? Am I going to get nuked immediately? I think with light skin, I'll probably live the max lightning helping hand combination. But I'm taking a lot of damage from my Incineroar, which is expendable. I don't really need it too much, but all right. We're going to get a light screen up and no helping hand here. So it's going to be a max lightning just being fired off into Incineroar immediately, which I will be able to survive with the light screen. Yep. Okay. Is that rising voltage damage? I don't know if it is. Let's see. Is it? It is life orb. I actually can't tell if it's rising voltage damage. Ooh, the Calyx is faster. Okay, that's actually really good for me. That the Calyx is faster. Because the Calyx is faster, that means, okay, so it's Sash Calyx. Good to know. That does a lot to my Grim now. And I mean a lot. But Parting Shot is going to come out into the Calyx. Okay, beautiful. And now I can bring out my Groudon and click Precipice Blades here. Precipice Blades is going to threaten a lot of damage. My only part is all my max options are really weak at this point, but maybe I should Dynamax the Groudon then if that's the case. Yeah, maybe Dynamaxing the Groudon and then clicking a Sucker Punch right here into the Calyx is probably the best call here. So I will go for a... Or I could go Incineroar here, but I just don't see a reason to go Incineroar here. I think I'd rather just Sucker Punch, and I mean, I definitely want to click Sucker Punch because it should be Sash Calyx. If it's actually a policy max speed, I'd be very shocked here. I could Trick or I could go Incineroar. Both aren't bad options either. I kind of like the Incineroar play a little bit more because Incineroar is very expendable here. And I think I'm going to click a Blades here into... Yeah, I'm going to click Blades actually. I think Blades is better because if it's in-game Charizard... I mean, I don't think it's endgame Charizard at this point in the game, but might as well. I get a free switch to Zamazenta anyway, which is perfectly fine. And then I click the Wide Guard afterward. And yeah, that actually should still work here. So let's see what my opponent decides to do here. Max Strike actually coming out in Groudon. Okay. All right. So that's going to do a pretty solid amount of damage. I do have the Wide Herb, so I'm still going to be faster than Calyx. But yeah, which is actually pretty important here, I think. Let's see. Because that means I can follow up the Calyx the next turn with a Max Quake here. Oh, please tell. Oh my. Okay, who did I miss? I missed the Aleki. Oh, Groudon, you are trash. You are trash. Okay, so they do get the Glacial Lance. Oh my goodness. This Pokemon. Okay. Very, very frustrating here. I have to endgame Dynamax here. I have to Quake. And I have to... That's so frustrating. I would have KO'd the Aleki. Sure, my Dynamax is no longer as solid as an option as it was, but the fact that I just had to waste so many turns trying to get rid of the Aleki now. Alright, we Dynamax our Groudon here. We still have our Zamazenta, thankfully, which can still clean up in the endgame, but oh boy, this endgame is getting so much more difficult. Especially with the Ice Beam probably coming out from the Kyogre in the upcoming turns. We do get a Fake Out off into that. A Max Strike is going to be fired off and targeted down to Groudon, which Groudon, you will survive. Okay. I can't afford to get rid of Calyx because I need it. Okay. So... Life Orb. We are going to be able to get a Quake off into their Aleki. I need to figure out a position where I can beat the Kyogre efficiently. We do eliminate the Aleki, which is positive, but now Kyogre is probably going to come in, and that Kyogre is going to be quite a demon right here. But yeah, goodbye Aleki. Do I sack Incineroar? Do I sack the... No, I definitely sack the Incineroar here. Let's see. Should be Kyogre. We get to... Yeah, Kyogre comes in. Maybe I have to hope it's choice locked. Is that my only way of winning this? It probably is. I want to see who's faster between the Calyx and the Kyogre. I'm assuming it's going to be the Kyogre, but just to be safe, I'm going to go for a parting shot. I mean, I'm just sacking here and I'm max guarding. And then we're going to find out the upcoming turns because I kind of need a trick probably into the Kyogre at this point. So we max guard here. It is Water Spout. Do I gamble? I feel like that this could be very well Scarf Kyogre, and if it is Scarf Kyogre, I might as well just Wide Guard because Wide Guard would seal me this game here. So goodbye there. Incineroar, Glacial Lance gonna come out, okay. And we're going hard into, you know what? I'm gonna gamble here. I think because even if I go Grimmsnarl Trick, like if they have Ice Beam, this is just over. Like if they have Ice Beam and they aren't choice locked, this is just over because they just click Lance plus Ice Beam. And then I just lose off that. So yeah, I have to go into Zamazenta. I have to click the Wide Guard option. And afterward, we'll figure out the rest when we get there, I suppose. But yeah, we are going to click a wide guard and a quake. So we're clicking wide guard, we're clicking quake. The problem is, who are we clicking quake into? Probably the Kyogre anyway. Yeah, it's in the Kyogre regardless, because we can deal with the Calyx with our Behemoth Bash. All right, they stayed in. I don't know what this means. Do you actually have Ice Beam? Okay, no, they stayed in. Click Water Spout. That's really good for me because I get the damage into Kyogre, which is absolutely beautiful right here. They did Lance. Okay, they did not expect a wide guard. One of the huge benefits of running Zamazenta is a wide guard Groudon wide guard Zamazenta right here, protecting the Groudon from Glacial Lance and Water Spout, two of the most common spread moves in the game. We are able to get a big Quake Up, and that is going to boost my Zamazenta huge, and I mean absolutely huge right there. Okay. Light screen wears off, the rain or the terrain disappears. Does Water Spout still knock out Groudon disarrange from like how low? I mean, I think my best play is always to bash anyway to Calyx and probably attack the Kyogre. I think the Kyogre is probably choice at this point in the game. I want to say it's probably switches out here, so I actually kind of want to go for a Blade. I kind of want to go for the Blade. The only problem is if Calyx is probably going to let the bash if it's Incineroar in the back. Iron Spout is probably going to OHKO me, which is also not a problem. So I might need Groudon still alive. My best play might actually be to Behemoth Bash the Calyx and just protect. Yeah, I'm going to protect here. I'm going to scout. This should probably be... there is the switch here. Perfect. This should be an Incineroar or Rillaboom if they have it. It is going to be Incineroar. Okay. So I'm really glad I made this play here, because if they high horsepower my Groudon, this isn't exactly the most ideal position. So I get a bash off. I two-shot the Calyx Ice Rider, which is actually pretty huge for me. And I keep my Groudon still alive so I can take on the Ogre in the upcoming turns. Okay. So nice. Behemoth Bash going to be fired off into the Calyx Ice Rider. Fantastic right here. So goodbye. Yeah, it does survive. I'm not super shocked. And the Groudon was -1 because of the max strike from earlier. They high horsepower. Oh, they targeted down my Zamazenta. Not what I expected. Does nothing damage though, so that's all good here. All right. We're clicking. Should always be. Am I coaching? I guess I get coaching. You know what? I'm coaching. I mean, I expect this to be fake out anyway, realistically. I'm going to go for coaching. I mean, no, I just bash. I just bash the Calyx Ice Rider. I swap my Groudon into Grimmsnarl here because Grimmsnarl to survive the Sucker Punch. Or not the Sucker Punch, high horsepower, and then direct into Sucker Punch afterward. We actually don't have a bad position now that I think about it, because we have Sucker Punch Grimm to take care of the Kyogre, especially since I do think it's Scarf. A Fake Out going to come out into the Zamazenta, which makes a lot of sense here. Going to be a Lance. Okay, yeah. Wasn't sure if they were going to Lance or just high horsepower, because if I wide guarded, I do actually block the Lance. But yeah, I guess I could have, because there was no reason, I think, for Incineroar really not Fake Out to the Zamazenta right there. But yeah, still should probably work out. I'm going to go for a... I feel like coaching is always the right play. I'm going to coaching and I'm going to Sucker Punch. You might think of this as a really weird play, but I do expect to probably protect from Calyx. If it's not protecting, it's attacking. And it looks like that's exactly what it does here. So that's fantastic for me. I'm able to get the Sucker Punch knock on the Calyx. I was expecting protect, and I was just trying to waste the protect right there. And I might as well get the coaching so I get the defense up on the Grimmsnarl right here to take the Incineroar. Or, I mean, Cali Eyes was not moving that turn anyway. But this could be Parting Shot here. No, it's Flare Blitz instead. Okay. So like double Parting Shot into the Grim, and then Sucker Punch somehow not knocks out the Ogre in the position. But yeah, they do go for the Flare Blitz here. Rain stops, but they're sending it right back up. So this Zamazenta looks like a demon for them to stop right now, because I just Sucker Punch the Kyogre right here, and they give me their own Rain. So we're all good here. So Kyogre does get brought out, and now I just click coaching. I just click coaching at this point, and there's nothing my opponent can really do here. So we will go for the coaching into the Grimmsnarl, and we will go for the Sucker Punch into the Kyogre right here, and there's not really much they could do here. You might be thinking, why don't I just close combat? I don't really think there's a point in going for the close combat here and lowering my defenses. But yeah, let's just see, because I might as well just boost up the Grim anyway, because the Grim Spirit Breaks are now actually going to really hurt the Incineroar at this point in the game. So We have a +2 Grimmsnarl, which they have to break through. They have to break through my Zamazenta still, regardless. They Flare Blitz my Zamazenta, and as you can see, it's just not doing any damage right here. And I guess I'm gonna sack the Groudon, because if I know there's one Pokemon that can't do work here, it's gonna be the Groudon. I'm at -1 attack. I'm at +2. We're gonna go out into our Groudon here and Spirit Break. I think at this point they're like very not committed to attacking my Grimmsnarl. If they go for the Grimmsnarl here, I don't know if they even knock out with the Sun Boost through the +2. If they do, then I just gotta hit one attack, I guess, with the Groudon. But I also reset my Zamazenta's attack stats, so Close Combat can actually do some pretty significant damage right here. Maybe I should have Sucker Punch, but I'm pretty sure Fire Punch Close Combat should probably finish off the Incineroar anyway, especially after the Flare Blitz recoil stuff. So they do Flare Blitz, they're gonna get rid of my Groudon, but yeah, this should be a checkmate right here because we are able to get our Zamazenta in. Quick Close Combat after the Spirit Break is really going to hurt their Incineroar right here. Let's see how much damage this does. It's +2. That's a pretty good damage. That is some pretty good damage. No Berry Eater, so yeah, the game's 100% sealed. No Spread Move is really going to save them here, I guess. Now, Crit Earthquake probably doesn't even knock out the... Actually, I guess Crit Earthquake could, but... Or Heat Wave. But at this point, let's just... I don't think Incineroar actually gets Heat Wave, but yeah, we have Close Combat, Spirit Break, finish off the Incineroar. Good game right here. So even after that horrendous beginning against the Eleki, missing the blades onto the Eleki was so bad because I could have just had way more pressure, and the fact that I still had to deal with the Eleki, the fact that I had to take so much damage unnecessarily right there, it been put in a really scary, spooky position. But overall, was able to somehow find a way back. I made the right commitment with the wide guard based on information, because I did feel like the Kyogre would probably be Choice Scarf at that point in the game, because how they were playing it seemed like a really offensive variant with like the Life Orb Eleki we saw. The Calyx was just going for the Lances really at that point, so I assumed that the Kyogre was probably that Choice Scarf variant, which we saw pretty common in the beginning of the format. So was able to thankfully guess right there, and Kyogre got heavily punished with that Quake, and yeah, then we were in a really good spot for the rest of the game. And that is the show. Zamazenta, not bad. It did do some work, unlike a certain Pokemon that cannot hit the blades. Oh my Groudon, there's a reason why I put this thing in an F tier restricted, literally because it's could be so good, but it ends up failing me so many times. But if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. I want to check out the details of the team and the creator again down below in the description, and you can grab the rent code while it's available. Why not check out the rest of my series show content? There's a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon, and especially the other times I use Groudon where I've either hit my moves or I have missed them consecutively. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.